This Sunday, the United States Conference of Bishops will meet in Baltimore for their biannual meeting. Many are asking if today's election results have any impact on the bishops' agenda. National correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, Chris White, joins us now. Christopher, you have described the relationship between U.S. bishops and both parties as being complicated, now at least up until today, right? What would be the most ideal outcome tonight to kind of maybe just shift that dynamic a little bit?
Well, Liz, Catholic bishops are in a very difficult place when they talk about politics, right? Because they try to talk about principles and stay out of partisan turf battles. So I think, if most Catholic bishops had their way and could sort of wave their magic wand, they'd like to see a lot of the Republican candidates probably become more opening and welcoming to migrants. And they'd like to see a lot of Democratic candidates welcome pro-lifers and make more room in the party for them. Now, of course, that's not the reality. And so what Catholic politicians have to do is say, where can we sort of be savvy and find common ground to work together to advance the principles that we do care about?
I want to reference your latest article, Christopher, in one paragraph that really stands out as an example of just how important this election presence is in the election. You write, some of the closest watch races will pit Catholic candidates against one another. In others, it will match up candidates that represent dramatically different stances on issues that test core Catholic values. My take on this basically is no matter how you look at it, you can't ignore how much is at stake today for Catholics, correct?
Huge issues for Catholics in this election. I mean, you have the president who has made migration a centerpiece of his campaign when he's been out on the campaign trail, campaigning on behalf of Senate and House representative candidates. You have, of course, the right to life issues and abortion, which a lot of these candidates, have very strong opinions for, either for or against. That's of deep concern to Catholics. Health care. So these sort of top issues at the surface are among the most important to Catholics. And I think we're going to see, across the board at the ballot box, and as the results come in tonight, Catholics, cheering some issues and others being disappointed on.
We know that the USCCB puts out a statement for each election talking about faith and voting your conscience. Is it even possible to frame an official hard and fast Catholic voting guide? I mean, as you know, Catholics tend to vote their politics rather than official church teaching.
There are multiple studies out there, Liz, that show that no matter how often someone goes to Mass, at the end of the day, when they step into the voting booth, unfortunately for Catholic, leaders, they're probably just going to vote their politics rather than with their faith. So this sort of idea of a Catholic vote is a bit mysterious and sort of a misnomer most of the time. That being said, of course, we do see sort of, Catholics that attend Mass more regularly tend to be more welcoming toward migrants. Catholics that attend Mass more regularly, they tend to have stronger pro-life views. So it's not to say that going to Mass isn't going to influence one's politics. It's just a question of how much that actually transfers over into the polls.
All right, Christopher, thank you. A lot of good information there.